Welcome back to another episode of BW Flix, and we are the average movie critics. We are back. Sorry, we weren't here a couple of weeks. I was just talking to B offline that we haven't done two shows in a row in a while. Hopefully, we will not make that a trend, and that we will definitely be doing a show every week, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. On YouTube, Facebook. Follows, like us, and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy the show. But tonight, B, what's going on, man? How are you, buddy? It's been a while.
I'm good. I'm hot, but I'm good. It's like 98 degrees here, man.
Oh my goodness. It was I think it was close to 100. It was like, pretty hot here in Atlanta as well. But I don't know if it's gonna be as hot as the two movies that we're gonna be talking about. We are watching or talking about, we've watched the movies already. We're talking about both. Wait, who is this? Got to be the most handsome.
Mike.
We appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. This has got to be, I mean, that's very nice of you. I don't know for sure. Not at 51 anymore. Head balding a little bit. Yeah. But we will be talking about Days of Thunder, 1990, and we will also be talking about F1. Came out in 2025. Without further ado, let's start talking about Days of Thunder. My buddy, as you normally would, if you just give us some of the superlatives about that movie, and we will get started.
So this movie was directed by Tony Scott, same guy that did Top Gun. So we'll reference that during this review.
And rest in peace, Tony Scott.
And it was produced by the same people also that did Top Gun, Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer. It is starring Tom Cruise as Cole Trickle, who is his character is patterned after race car driver Tim Richmond. And his racing name is a nod to veteran racer Dick Trickle. Robert Duvall as Harry Hogue, Cole's crew chief. Randy Quaid as Tim Dolland, a wealthy car dealership race team owner. He's patterned after Rick Hendrick of Rick Hendrick's Racing. Nicole Kidman as Dr. Claire Lewicki, neurosurgeon, comes into play and is Tom Cruise's love interest and was actually his real life love interest after this movie. Michael Rooker, who is Roddy Burns, who is the rival and friend of Cole Trickle, and he is patterned after Dale Earnhardt. Makes sense. Carrie Ooles is Russ Wheeler, the rookie driver who fills in for Cole, but later becomes his rival, and he is patterned after Rusty Wallace. Then you got John C. Reilly. He's the Cole's car chief. He's also in the Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights movie as well, but he is a actual racer in that movie. Fred Dalton Thompson, you would know him. He's Big John in this movie, but you know him as he plays in a lot of roles, like senator roles. I believe he is a senator, he was an ex-senator, by the way.
He was, yes.
And then you have the cameo roles with Richard Petty, Rusty Wallace, Neil Bonnet, and Harry Gant. Along with Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett, who are ESPN announcers for the races. This cinematography is for Ward Russell. The music was by Hans Zimmer. The production company was Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer Films, distributed by Paramount Pictures. Release date was June 27th, 1990. Running time was 107 minutes. Budget was $60 million, and it made at the box office $157.9 million.
Cha-ching! Cha-ching!
Right.
And
twice amount. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned a guy that I was introduced to when The Gladiator came out, Hans Zimmer. He did the soundtrack for that movie, and I have that actually. For those of you who don't know, who maybe our young audience, that CDs did exist at one point. And what's up? I actually own that soundtrack. We collect CDs still in his home, and I have that soundtrack. And every now and then I might pull it out and listen to it, and it's still one of the best soundtracks. The Gladiator. It'd be another movie to for us to
Hmm.
rate too as well. That being said, we are talking about this movie you mentioned, 1990, long time ago. What would it be? 36 years ago? Yes, 36 years ago. This movie came out, and Tom
36 years ago.
Cruise. Yeah,
Yeah.
36 years. That's crazy that how far that time flies. Um, Cole Trickle is recruited by the car dealer tycoon you mentioned, Chevrolet dealer Tim Whalen, and he's uh, an unproven NASCAR stock driver that he gets to join their team, and actually to drive against, like you said, his nemesis then turned friend, Rowdy Burns, and he also picks up Harry, the crew chief that retired, Harry Hogue. Is that how you say his last name? I believe you said ha-
Yeah,
Harry
Harry Holt.
Hogue.
Yep.
Yeah, he retired under suspicious means because supposedly the guy that Buddy Brett Bretherton died under a car crash that may or may not have been the fault of Harry Hogue. And so while Cole, fast and arrogant, has a difficult time adjusting to driving a NASCAR stock car because he's never done it before. This is something new to him, um, and he also has issues with communicating with his crew because he doesn't know much about the cars at all. He doesn't know much anything about cars except that he's gifted and with driving them. And so, with that being said, he takes Roddy Burns' car. He tests. He's super fast, so they hire him, and Harry agrees to come on. But again, they go through a few races. He crashes the car because he doesn't know much about the car. And also, Rowdy, as you mentioned, the who they tailored after Dale Earnhardt. He shows that he's one of those guys that's the intimidator. He backs into the car and it causes him to crash. And
Hmm.
but through it all, I mean, he's through several races. And after they've communicated, he and Harry, find out what's going on. He sends him through a rigorous training session, and eventually he wins a race. He wins a race. He wins several races, and um, after he wins a couple of races, he and Harry Burns get into a collision. They both get into a really bad collision, and so they're out of the race for a while. And the president the guy that you mentioned, Fred, is it Fred Williams, is whatever his name? I forgot the guy that was
Fred Thompson. Yeah,
Fred
Fred
Thompson.
Thompson.
Yes, he was a senator. He played the president of NASCAR. He got them to get together and to let them know, hey, you got to calm down with what you're doing because it's bad for racing. Otherwise, I'll suspend you and kick you both out of race out of the circuit. And so they put on a face. They go to dinner. They racing each other, and but also after the crash, they're in the hospital, obviously getting taken care of, and that's where Cole meets Dr. Lewicki, and she soon becomes his love interest as well after several chances of him trying to woo her, and he eventually does, and they become love interests. And Cole Trickle and Rowdy Burns become friends. They become friends, but then Burns is also while Cole Trickle is still recovering. Waylon. I mean, I wanted to say Waylon. Like this is Alien. Excuse me. Dalen hires another rookie driver played by Carrie Elwes. That's Russ Wheeler, and he's another arrogant kind of punk in the movie. He plays like he's a nice guy, but he's really not. And he goes on and gets some wins. And of course, Cole wants to come back, and he tries to come back and race. And Russ kind of gives him the business with the intimidation factor, and he causes him to crash and he goes on to win. But then Cole is really upset about the situation, so he goes and wrecks both cars. And that being said, he gets fired. He and Harry get fired from the from there. And turns out that these injuries are more serious for Rowdy Burns. These names, man, it's hard to remember these names with all these Cole Trickle, Rowdy Burns, and Rush Wheeler. It's amazing what all these names that they were given. But anyway, Rowdy Burns. Yeah, exactly. Rowdy Burns turns out he needs to have surgery for I believe an aneurysm, brain aneurysm, and so he's not going to drive. But he's in a bind because his sponsors are looking to cancel their sponsorship if he's not going to ride, and so he's got a lot. He purchased like I guess like a $9 million home and land, and so in order to keep that, he asked a favor of Cole Trickle to drive his car. He eventually decides to do that. He drives his car for him, and also it brings on Harry Hogue as his crew chief, and they end up racing again. And of course, he goes on to win everything. Everybody's happy at the end. They show Cole Trickle and Harry Hogue racing each other at the end, and then it freezes, and that's the end. We'll get into talking about this movie. Do we have a video for it?
Yes, we do. Just to reply to you, Mike, that Cole Trickle is not the mention. Actually, Cole Trickle is just a character reference. The name is Dick Trickle. They just took off the name of Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle was actual race as well, but Cole Trickle is nowhere. They didn't take it out of any relationship to it or anything like that. It was just a name that they took out, but it is a shout out to Dick Trickle. All right. As far as the video I have right here, it is the last scene in the movie where Cole Trickle and Russ Wheeler are going at it to win. I believe it is the Daytona, actually, and Daytona 500, and they are battling at the end here, and you're going to see the will of Cole Trickle and how he actually matures racing over the course of this movie. His maturity level goes up in the racing because he does a lot of things that are common to a lot, to drivers. And then this is the reason Russ Wheeler gets the best of him, because he there's so many things that Cole Trickle does that I know what he's going to do 5 moves before he does it. So this is where Cole Trickle gets his get back. So here you go.
Don't keep this up, Cole, please. Harry, this guy's going down. Last turn, careful. He's going to try and slingshot past you, Russ. Don't worry. I know Cole. He always goes to the outside. This one's for you, Harry. He's going high. He's going low. Son of a bitch! Here come the cars to the finish line. It's Cole Trickle taking the win. Go!
And there you go.
Right. Yeah. Cole Trickle, Daytona,
Rub and paint.
500.
Rub and paint. That was a good old
Yes,
days
sir.
of NASCAR. They're a little bit more restrictive now with their race car driving, but the one thing about this movie that's legit is the cars look beat up when they come in there. That's legit. Because I've watched Dale Earnhardt when he was racing. That car would be beat the F up. I mean, beat up. They'd be slamming into him. He'd be slamming into other cars. It's just when he comes in there, it's barely rolling, much less running. So, yeah, that's legitimate.
There's a reason they called him the Intimidator, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That being said, man, look, how's the direction of this movie? Cinematography, editing. Look, although this movie is technically 1990, It gives the feel of the 1980s cheese a little bit. Why? Because it does give a feel of a movie that seems like it's a little bit replicated. Instead of driving on the ground, they might have been flying in the air, dogfighting, but they're driving on the ground, dogfighting. Look, the movie looks exactly like Top Gun 1986. Uh, the same guy, like you said, same producers, same director. Uh, Tom Cruise at the beginning, highway to the danger zone on a motorbike. At the beginning of this movie, he's on a motorbike coming in. And he goes and flies the airplane. I mean, instead of flying an F-14 Tomcat, he's driving a stock car at 178 miles an hour. And both, like I said, both made those entrances. Both have a love interest they probably shouldn't have been with. It seems like the same movie. They have the antagonist protagonist fight between Rowdy Burns and Cole Trickle. We got the Iceman versus Maverick. It's all the same thing, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is one of those movies. If you guys are out there that used to watch TNT, where they used to have the saying for movies for guys who like movies, this is one of those movies. This is one of those movies that would air on TNT, and if you didn't mind commercials, you just go ahead and sit there and watch it. I mean, on a Sunday or Saturday or whatever it may have been. And I like this movie still. If you can get past all of that the fact that it was almost a replica of another movie, like the same people made the same movie, just in a different genre, car racing instead of dogfighting in the military. What do you think? What do you think about the direction and editing? I mean, cinematography, I loved it. I loved the shaking of the camera when they're driving, gave a little bit of realism to it. Like you showed in that clip just there. Direction, it seemed to go as what you would think of this type of movie. I mean, there was no award-winning acting and different stuff like that. The editing was decent, but it was for me. That's what I got from the direction, theme, and editing and cinematography.
Yeah, if you want to go fast, you got to learn how to go slow. That was what Harry said. Yeah, when he was talking to Cole about that whole situation. Yeah, one of his wisdoms. I think the movie was it did have a lot of Top Gun versus Days of Thunder in it. Yeah, it was like everything on the air you did was on the ground. But at the same time, it really gave this was really in the NASCAR's heyday too, between the 90s and the 2000s, early 80s, when NASCAR was at its point level where people actually watched it on TV and there was a lot of fans. I know I was one of them. I followed Dale Earnhardt until the time of his death in 2001 on that particular, I believe it was that particular track too, Daytona 500. He lost his life on that track. And or was it Talladega? I think it was Talladega. But anyway, it goes to show you how that has changed over the years since then too, because now everything is restricted. There's stages, and it's kind of getting like, man, nobody wants to watch it. They said people barely wanted to watch it in the 80s and the 90s. Now they really don't want to watch it because you done changed the whole sport around. It's kind of like how they do in basketball. Everything is changing in this century. I don't know what's going on with the whole sports thing, but again, this was pretty good as a movie as far as replica of what happens in NASCAR. I mean, I'm not saying that their faces get all gritty like that. I'm trying to figure out where all that dirt was coming from. So many dirty faces coming out of a race car in my entire life. But the bumping of the cars, the rubbing of the paint, the slamming them into the wall, bumping the bumpers, they do that even now at a lesser pace, but they still do it now. So it was true to form as far as that was concerned.
Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed most of that. Like I said, I knew I saw that movie before. That's like a cliche that people say, I've seen this movie before. Literally, we've seen this movie before. Watching Duvall was one of the best characters. Duvall is one of the best character actors. Period. Right. And I loved his part. He's one of my favorite movies, which you probably will review at some point, is The Apostle, when he plays the Apostle. Have you ever seen that? Oh, Yeah, I don't want to say whether it's great or not, but again, I just kind of alluded to one of my favorites, so it must be pretty good. That being said, he's one of my favorite actors. But speaking of actors, how was the cast? This movie was set as, like I said, for guys who like movies. There was not great acting. There was no great, there were some one-isms, lines, and wisdom-isms, but whether or not there was a great story here, it was okay. It was a good story. It wasn't a great story. It was good enough. I think it was good enough for what you wanted to see. This movie's about racing. It's like Top Gun. You said some corny. I feel the need for speed. You know, that's the cheesy lines and stuff like that. Hanging out with the boys or out there playing volleyball, that kind of stuff. This is kind of the same thing. I mean, and to me, I think there was good chemistry. I like the chemistry between Michael Rooker and Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise kind of plays the same guy no matter what he does in every movie, but it seems to work in no matter what he does. I mean, it's always a blockbuster hit. Again, Harry Hogue. I love Robert Duvall's character with him, and I think the chemistry between him and Tom Cruise was really good. You had ancillary characters such as Randy Quaid's Dalen. He was decent. I thought it was okay. He played I guess I don't think he was a much of as a tycoon. He didn't give me the tycoonish character. I didn't. Randy Quaid.
Well, he was a salesperson of a car dealership. So
yes, exactly. Right, exactly. Used car dealership. Right.
Yeah.
Or yeah, he didn't give me like the guy that was like when he fired. I didn't believe that he fired Cole Trickle. It just didn't seem like, especially when he ended up investing more in him again when he paid for the engine for his new car. That being said, Nicole Kidman's character was decent. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't, the acting was okay. I thought the acting was okay, but what made the movie was the one-liners and the racing of the car, and I think it served its purpose in that regard. What do you think, my man?
Yeah, I think the chemistry was good as far as the actors and the actresses go in a movie. Yeah, and you're right. The acting wasn't the greatest. You had some newcomers on there as well. That was one of his first of his many movies that he started doing. He was a youngster then. He really didn't have an avid role in parts of the stuff that he was in. Nicole Kidman, I think, was the smartest of the actors in this group. She had some lines that were really, she did Nicole Kidman stuff. Nicole Kidman is a very good actress and
right,
very underrated actress. I think people don't understand. And she was kind of like the buffer between the rah-rah guys, the muscle heads. She was the woman that came in there and kind of calmed things down. So, the fact that Roddy Burns listened to her was amazing enough because he didn't listen to nobody. He wasn't even listening to Cole. So, so he was stubborn. He was real stubborn. But when Nicole Kidman's character came in there and calmed him down and told him when he realized what was going on with him, he couldn't do anything about it because if he did, he'd die. So it was either fix that and get it better and relax and retire, or die. So it was a common thing. I think the chemistry was great in there. I think the racing was good. I think the cinematography with the racing was great. Other than that, it was meh.
Yeah, and I mean, the third question: does this movie hold up to this day? For me, I think it does. I mean, because obviously, it's a straightforward movie. It doesn't really have to go into a whole bunch to really get. It doesn't really have to go into a whole bunch. I know where that's coming from. It doesn't really have to go into a whole bunch to really explain this type of movie. It's straight at you, straightforward. You know what it's about. You know what the type of people that are in there. I mean, like the scene with the police officer stopping the truck, pulling the truck over, and they pull the prank on Cole Trickle with the lady cop. I mean, that makes sense in this type of arena. That probably something crazy would happen like that. And to me, this holds up to today because again, it's simple. It's simple minded. It doesn't take easy does it. It doesn't take much a rocket scientist or a neurosurgeon to figure out what this movie's about and where it's going and where it ends. So for me, I thought it was middle of the road. I thought it was middle of the road. I'll let you go with this afterwards, and after I say I'm going to give you my buckets of popcorn. I'm going to say three buckets of popcorn in this regard, and then you go ahead and give me what you think about does this movie hold up or not.
For me, the movie is you just said it. Really, it's simple. It's straightforward. It's an action movie. You can sit there and not have to, like, if you got up and went to the bathroom, you still be and came back, you still be in the movie because there's really not much of anything you had to follow directly. So it's kind of like it's a man's movie. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call us dumb or anything like that, but we have direct vision. We're not somebody that can do different things at different times. We're just watching a movie. You just want to watch the movie. I don't need to be looking at 6 different things to watch a movie. I just want to watch the movie, and that's what this movie does to you too.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Right, around the bouncing ball kind of thing. With me, 3 was a lot. I gave it a 2 only because I gave it a 2 because I just felt like this. The plot was just simple. I think the characters and made the chemistry and the whole cinematography thing, but yeah, it was too copycatish off of Top Gun. Like I said, I like the authenticity of the NASCAR racing because that's what actually was going on at that time with drivers. They were banging and rubbing paint and putting each other against the wall and all that stuff. So I gave it 2 because
I mean, I was close to being on the fence of that because of the copycat part of it.
Exactly. It's a fun movie. Spot on. Yep. It's just testosterone rush for a dude. Exactly.
Right. Exactly. But it is what it is. And will I be watching this movie again? Probably in another 25 years. So let's move on. All right. Our second movie is F1, the movie. Came out in 2025. And B, go ahead and give us some superlatives on that.
The popcorn deserves one bucket of popcorn and action. The racing deserves. Yeah. Duvall was. I mean, I think Tom Cruise did a pretty good job in that movie too. I mean, he had to be the main character, and I think Nicole Kidman probably just brought everybody together. But yeah. Anyway, F1.
Not according to Liz, though.
Right. Yeah, Nicole Kidman, she gets no buckets of popcorn. With Liz there. F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski. The production was Jerry Bruckheimer. How about that? Interesting. Brad Pitt was also in this production too. It was starring Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes.
1990s will like that.
1990s Formula One driver who returns to F1 with the APXGP. And the APXGP is kind of like the John Player special racing team back in the 90s. If anybody is not familiar with that, they were real famous because they had one of those most iconic F1 cars back in the day. Damson Idris as Joshua Pierce, which is a teammate of Sonny's, but also is kind of a rival because he's a hotshot rookie and he kind of sees Brad Pitt as the old dude. And he's like, dude, you don't even know anything about F1 racing nowadays, Other people in this movie, Carrie Condon, she plays the love interest of, I guess you could call it love interest of Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes. She is the technical director, and she's the one that helps shape the race car the way Brad Pitt needs to be shaped for the race. So they get together and get that done. Javier Bardem, of course, everybody knows Javier Bardem. He's the friend of Sonny, former Lotus teammate, and he is also the team owner of APXGP. Other people in this movie that you'll probably know, one of them is Shea Wiggum. Shea Wiggum was in Boardwalk Empire. He's been in True Detective, Fargo, Silver Linings Playbook, Wolf of Wall Street. He's been in a lot of movies as well, so you'll know him. He was in the beginning of the movie as the owner of Chip Hart Racing from Sonny does a 24 hours of Daytona there, and Shea Wiggum is his boss. Let's see. Here we go. Music was by, guess what? It was by Hans Zimmer. It's kind of correlation from Days of Thunder, isn't it? We're getting a little bit in there. A little bit in there. And the production companies were Warner Bros. Pictures, Apple Studios, Jerry Bruckheimer Films, Plan B Entertainment, Monolith Pictures, no longer in existence, Dawn Apollo Films, no longer in existence. Distributed by Apple Original Films and Warner Brothers Pictures. Release date was June 16th to 2025. Released June 27, 2025 in the rest of the United States. That June 16th was opened in Radio City. Running time is 155 minutes. Budget. Check this budget out. Now remember we said it was $60 million for Days of Thunder. $200 to $300 million for the budget in this movie. Box office made $634.1 million coming back. So it was like 2 times to 3 times the amount that they made, they budgeted for. So that's pretty good. Kind of did the same thing that Days of Thunder did. Days of Thunder actually doubled a little bit over, and this one did 2 to 3 times better. So interesting.
Yeah, to say the least. Look, you said the actor that played Jay Pierce deserves to have a bigger and better role in the future. He was amazing.
Yes. Idris. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he will. As a matter of fact, he was Michael. Mike, what's his name?
That's Mike. Yeah, Michael. Yeah.
Mike. We're gonna do a bio of him later at the end of the show. What's up, Yenza? Coming in a little late, buddy. But better late than never. All right, so the synopsis of this movie begins with an aging past his prime F1 prodigy in Sonny Hayes that had a post-severe crash of approximately 30 plus years ago. Is spending his life in a race car for hire. He's just coming off a win in some race that he had, and his buddy finds him. He's driving his van. His buddy finds him washing his clothes at a laundromat, who was a former teammate of his in F1, and now he's a owner or a president of the APX GP1 team, and he's trying to recruit him to drive for him. He pleads with him and eventually recruits him to help join, as the listener out there mentioned, as Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris. He's a young, hot rookie, arrogant, similar to what Sonny Hayes was when he was young. And he wants him to join the team to help them because they're in a situation where if they don't win at least one of their last 9 races, they're in danger of being sold as a team. So that being said, Sonny eventually agrees. He meets a new team, including the technical director, as you mentioned, Kate McKenna, and he met the rookie. Early on, Sonny has a hard time adjusting, trying to drive the new vehicles. Obviously, is a lot more technical, electrical, bit more than what he used to do, and also has issues with the kid Joshua as they compete against one another, and they both end up crashing out in both their cars. Sonny later becomes a bit of a antagonist driver for the team because once he realizes that they are on a team, his role is to more so to kind of antagonize, sort of the Dale Earnhardt of F1, to antagonize other drivers, opponents, so that they can get red flagged and slow down, and he can help at least get his teammate placed. And eventually they do that. They get placed ninth uh, with Joshua at some point. So they make a top 10, and they eventually continue to do this. The next race, the Italian Grand Prix, Sonny advises Joshua to keep slick tires for speed in the rain. And eventually, Sonny tries to take, Sonny gets him to second place, and he tries to tell him to take his time and don't do a certain maneuver, but he ends up doing that maneuver, and he crashes out and gets hurt. And of course, Sonny gets blamed for what he ended up doing. But of course, Sonny was it was an ill-advised move by the rookie, but he didn't say anything. He kept it to himself, especially with his mother, Joshua Pierce's mother, when he was in the hospital. She warned him about his communication and what he's doing to try to take her son out. And of course, Sonny knew better, but Joshua didn't say anything either. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. But Sonny himself eventually gets some more airplay. I mean, he becomes better at what he's doing. He's also placing, and this makes Joshua a little bit jealous. Sonny's racing. I mean, he's jogging and he's building camaraderie with the team, and so you're seeing an older, wiser Sonny Hayes, because I'm pretty sure there was no difference when Sonny was young as Joshua's age, and it's kind of what got him in the situation he was in anyway. But McKenna sees there's the issue between the two, and so she, after they get out, when Joshua makes it back after he missed 3 races, he ends up crashing at the Belgium Grand Prix. He crashes Sonny, and they get into it, and Sonny accuses him of being not an antagonist, but a saboteur. Pretty much, you sabotaging, and claims that he's sabotaging his own team. And so Kate McKenna gets them both to go to a card game so they can figure out, if she wins, he wins, or he wins, who gets to make the decision. Who gets to make the decision? And Sonny has a good hand, but he allows Joshua to win the card game. And of course, she thinks he wants to go out with her. She thinks she's like, I don't go with losers. But it turns out he had 2 kings, and he let him win, and so they end up in bed, of course, together. And further, who is it? What's his name? Cervantes. Ruben Cervantes, Javier's character.
Yeah,
he comes he comes and finds him there in her room, but he didn't care. He just wanted to talk to him about something, and it was about the car. And of course, they find out that the car, someone sabotaged them and ratted them out about the car not being legal in regards to the modifications that were done on the car for Sonny's car. And so they have to change the car. Sonny has to drive the car, which is slower and not as good as the one before. And he forgets his lucky deck of cards when he goes out there. He goes out, gets into a bad car accident, and it comes to find out that Javier's character didn't know that he wasn't medically cleared to drive F1. It was his injuries from the previous accident were bad enough to where he can get into, or he can die or be paralyzed or blind, whatever it may be. So he fires him just for his safety. It was his friend. He ends up finding out that what's the guy's name? Peter Banning is the guy that self-sabotages APX GP1 and is looking to take over with other buyers if they don't win. If they don't win a race, they can take over and buy them out. And he offers him a consulting job when it does happen, and he considers it. But ultimately, you see Joshua has learned some things from Sonny. He ends up building more camaraderie with his team. He's a little bit more, not softer, but he becomes approachable, and he's becoming a leader. He's learning from Sonny. And Sonny comes back and he pleads with Ruben and convinces him to allow him to race. He tells him everything that happened, and Sonny and Joshua are a team. They're actually racing as a team again. Sonny helps him take the lead, and he takes out the third guy, and of course, there's an issue with Sonny's car, but he figures out a way to crash slightly and go get his car fixed, and that gives him an extra 3 laps for everybody. So Joshua's car needs to be worked on as well. They get their car worked on. They get back out there. Joshua was in second. Sonny takes out the third car in Charles Ledrick, or however you say this guy's name, in the Abu Dhabi. Yeah, how you say it?
Leclerc.
Leclerc. Thank you. He takes him out, and Joshua and Lewis Hamilton are neck and neck, but they end up crashing. And of course, after this happened, Sonny was able to pass them by, and you see him in his flying stage where he's floating and going along the track, and he ends up winning the race. His first ever, the thing that eluded him, he finally wins an F1 race. And he celebrates a little bit with everyone, but then he becomes aloof. He goes by himself and sits by himself. He says goodbye to Joshua, and he says goodbye to Kate McKenna, but he tells her he'll see her again. And next, we see him in some Baja 1000 race. And of course, they ask him why he wants to race, and he laughs. Pretty much, he doesn't care about the money. He just wants to get out there and just pretty much ride with his hair on fire. And the movie ends. Do we have a clip for that movie, my friend?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. And it is that aforementioned scene at the Abu Dhabi race where he is in first place and he's getting ready to win his race. And it's just a moment where he said during the movie that his piece is just being able to just turn off all the sound and just glide to the checkered flag and just like he's flying and stuff like that. Well, this is part of that whole interesting ending here. And yes, here it goes.
What's happening?
He's flying.
Sonny, you did it! We won!
Not as dramatic as a Taste of Thunder, but
So yes, let me look. My first question is always the question about directing, editing, and cinematography. This movie had great cinematography. I thought a lot of AI, CGI, whatever you want to call it now. A lot of that in the movie, but you really couldn't tell. It looked like, that part right there, scene was awesome. But for this movie, man, I think the directing, everything went in a good way. What did you say right there? 2 hours and 36 minutes.
2 hours, 36 minutes. The movie can feel exhausting or overlong due to the number of racing sequences.
You just read my mind. I was gonna say this is a very long movie, and I thought it was too long. I had to pause a couple of times for the movie. I just thought that there were some good lines in it. I like Sonny Hayes' character. But I thought this was a very expensive. That was a very expensive, predictable movie. I kind of knew this was going to happen. You knew you got a guy who was a prodigy in the beginning. He's geared to be the best. He's probably going to be the best, and he has a bad accident. and you got a guy. To me, I see this movie driven with Sylvester Stallone, the old driver who's the enforcer, and to help the younger driver out. I just thought, yeah, it was just. I thought it was. I thought it was good. I just think it was a very expensive, good movie. It wasn't a great movie. I just thought it was a very expensive, good movie. I like. I like the idea of the premise. I like the idea of the old driver trying to come back. Is that believable to me? I'm not certain, especially somebody whose spine is one snap away from flipping two parts into different places. I mean, I just thought, I don't know. I just didn't know if it was believable or not to me. But I love fast cars, and I love that in the movie, and I love the idea of that in the movie. I think they could have been, I don't want to compare it to Days of Thunder, but I like the idea of the crew chief and the race car drivers being like tied in together a lot more. And I think they could have did that a little bit more in this movie. But the biggest thing for this movie for me that was excellent was the cinematography. And I thought the editing, directing, it was okay. It was okay. What do you think, man?
Oh yeah, I did mention the cinematography. Claudio Miranda, who did the cinematography for that movie. I thought this was I mean, you're right. The plot again. You want to keep the movie interesting enough to keep people's attention, okay? And people meeting guys. Guys aren't going to want to look at all the plots and all the, they aren't going to look at, how many plots you can put into the movie and try to follow each plot. There was cut and dry plots in this movie. Old F1 racer who couldn't make it back in the 90s, had a horrific accident, turned to drinking and booze and gambling, and sobered up himself enough to go back out there and just race for the fun of racing. Not for money, but just for the fun of racing. Dude lived out of a van. Come on. And then on top of that, then he comes back because his old racing partner or rival, whatever the case may be, wants him to come back, knows he's a good driver, needs to show. He brought him there to be a mentor to Joshua. And JP didn't understand that, or he was kind of stubborn too because he's a rookie, and those things happen. He didn't really understand. Oh, this is old guy trying to tell me all kinds of stuff. I'm one of the best racers out here, and I'm a rookie. So what are you going to say about? But and Brad went through. I mean, Sonny went through his stages as well, being back in the F1. He wasn't a team player. He's never been a team player, and that's something he had to learn as well. And the whole thing came down. What was funny, that whole exchange you saw when he came back, when JP came back, and they both wrecked, and he's up there trying to pose for the cameras, and Sonny just went ape on him, like, hey, dude, what the? Hey, you're sabotaging the race team. You're not sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging everybody that's done hard work here. And it's funny from him coming to say that because you felt that he was doing that at the beginning too, not necessarily on purpose, but he was trying to show JP, hey, dude, this is, I'm trying to show you different things. So because you are a great racer. And he told him that in this movie. He said, you're a great racer and could be one of the best racers out here, but you're not focusing in on what you need to be focusing in on. That's what I'm here for, to teach you to do that. And I mean, it was a very good mentor. I thought the plot of being a mentor was really good. It took both of them a couple of minutes to get it together and be a team. And once they were cohesive as a team, they did good things. They kept going up into the, it kept winning races and kept going up the pole a little bit there. So
it didn't take them a couple of minutes. It took them 2 hours and 36 minutes to do that.
But it was a very good movie. I loved JP's mom. Because there's some old guy that they brought on here, and she comes out there and sees his picture. It's like, that's a handsome guy.
Like, hey, you look like what?
It's mine. Come on.
He's not that old, right? Exactly. I thought that I think they try to do, like you mentioned earlier, that they try to keep it straight, like for guys who like movies. But then at the same time, the length of it told me that they try to create some sort of plot at the same time, and they try to put some drama into the movie. It was just let me see.
So the van was an oasis. That's a true point there, Mike. He was a didn't have no regrets, no problems, no obstacles, just living in and out of the van, throwing up deuces. Yep, exactly. That's what his whole premise was before he got back into F1. He didn't care about money. He just wanted to race for the race. He was racing everything. NASCAR, the Baja series. I mean, this dude was racing everything. Anything that had wheels on it. He was racing motorcycles too. He didn't show any scenes of that, but he was doing that as well. So I mean, yeah.
And I get that part. Is that like he wanted to get something that eluded him. And that's where like, okay, he's going to get it. I mean, that's what predicted at the beginning of the movie for me. What would have made this movie better is if his character died. I told you that was coming. I knew it was coming. What would have made this better is if the character died some sort of way. It's like, to me, and like it cliched and became predictable when he won the race. And I knew that was going to happen. It was expected. You know, it didn't happen for him. He got hurt. He found a way to get back to that race, and that eluded him, and he made it back. But I mean, was there good chemistry? I thought Brad Pitt and Damson did well together to be kind of antagonist, protagonist, and switch back and forth on those roles. I thought they were good. I thought to me that was the best relationship in the movie. I wasn't too good. I didn't like the Kate's character, Carrie's character, and Kate. It was okay. They could have did more with her. I think they could have a lot. I don't think it was her. Her acting was good. I think the character though itself could have been a little bit more into it, and I just think that they kind of they were on to something with her being the technical director, and they could have elaborated a little bit more. I think she, you saw the human side of her, and she let her guard down and got with the race car driver. Javier's character was okay. For these guys to be like such great actors, I was expecting a little bit more out of his character to give more into that. And it wasn't Javier's fault. I think it was just that his character didn't have a lot of role into the movie. But well, I mean, what do you think about the actors and their chemistry?
I think the chemistry was there between Brad Pitt and Idris, and Javier.
Exactly.
I think all of them got together, and I think it kind of at near the middle of the movie. So was Carrie's.
I got to stop right there. This Rocky thing. Look, when you see the first Rocky movie, you don't know he's gonna win, and as a matter of fact, he doesn't win. It doesn't win the movie. So I mean, I hate to burst your bubble in that movie. The Rocky movies, sure, he wins 2 and 3. You don't know I didn't think he was gonna win 2 either. But I mean, against and he doesn't win initially against what's his name, Clubber Lang in 3, but and what makes it better is that when he wins against Ivan Drago, he wins, but he doesn't win. I mean, when it goes to 5, he loses everything. You know what I mean? Oh, you said he lost in the first movie. Okay, well, yes, but I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. I mean, so we're talking about the first movie, right? The first movie. I mean, there's only one F1 movie here. There's not like sequels. We're not talking about sequels. We're talking about 1 versus 1. So I would say, yeah. I mean, it was predictable. The first movie for Rocky was not predictable. It was the Oscar winner. I mean, it's really hard to compare those. So I would say that this movie, it was good. It was good. I'm not going to take away from it, but it was predictable. But that being said, I know we don't have a lot of time here. For me, would this movie hold up in another 5 or 10 years? Yeah, I think it will hold up. But I mean, I think it's a very expensive movie that seems like it was just a good movie. It wasn't great to me. I think it was a very expensive movie. It was good, and I give it three. I give it 3 buckets of popcorn.
Ooh, $3 a popcorn. Look at you. All right. 3 buckets of popcorn. I will also probably give it 3 buckets of popcorn too. I think the thing about the character, Carrie's character, Kate, the hidden agenda behind that whole situation with her story is the fact that she was a woman, basically in a male-dominated role as far as the technicals so she was trying to make it in there where women haven't made it in there before, in racing. So she was working at an aeronautical firm before she got picked up by the race team, and they said, "Hey, you want to do this? You look like you know what you're doing." Blah blah blah. And she is very focused on her work. She's willing to accept changes as well. So that's okay, Liz. I got you. Don't worry about that. Anyway. And so I mean, I think she did a very good job in portraying that type of a woman where it was a male-dominated role she was going up against, and when they won, it made her role as that technical director for the team even greater because they won with a female technical director. They didn't win with a male, so she got her props on that whole situation too, and I think that's the reason why everybody was elated in that movie when they won. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and give it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3 a box of popcorn too. It was great, but it wasn't that great. I think they could probably, with that budget, they probably could have done a lot better job. I think the plot could have been a lot better and not as predictable. Hell, let JP win, the race. He was the rookie.
Right.
Right.
Do we have time to go over a little bit just to give Damson his credit? Yeah, we don't have anybody after, do we?
No, we're good.
Yeah. Let's just go a little bit on this one. I want to give him his credit. So, ladies and gentlemen, our bio is on Damson Idris, the rookie prodigy in the movie. Damson was born September 2nd, 1991, a year after Days of Thunder. He's 34, and he's a British actor. For those of you who do not know or did not know, he was a star in the series by John Singleton, Snowfall, that came on Hulu or FX. Excuse me. If you're familiar with that show, it's a great series. It came out in 2018 or 2017, 2018, one of those years, and excellent series about the 80s crack epidemic, and he was a big time drug dealer in that time in the 80s. He was born in Peckham, Southeast London, Nigerian-born family of Yoruba descent, and he's the youngest of 6 children. He played soccer and rugby when he was young. He studied at Brunel University in London. He completed his BA in theater, film, and TV studies. He also continued training at Identity School of Acting in London. He eventually began 3 movies, Miranda, small parts in Miranda 2013, Doctors in 2015, and Casualty in 2015. But again, his breakout role was in 2017, I believe, as Franklin Saint in the series Snowfall. If you have not seen that, if you want to get a little bit more glimpse of who Damson Idris is, you should watch that series. It's an excellent series. And at the beginning, that was my first introduction to him, and I did not know he was British until he began to talk off air. He gives you a great performance. His first film role was City of Tiny Lights in 2016, a British thriller. First American role in a movie was Megan Levy with Kate Mara, and he was an FBI agent. If you've seen The Commuter with Liam Neeson, very good movie, and he was an FBI agent in that in 2018. He also played in Farming. It was a biopic, a semi-autographical biopic of I forgot the African guy's name. He's an actor, but he portrayed him, and he won a Best Actor award in a British film at the Edinburgh Film Festival. He also played in the second episode of the 5th season of Black Mirror, a series on Netflix as well. 2021, he was in a Netflix sci-fi action film called Outside the Wire. 2023, he became a brand name ambassador for both Tommy Hilfiger and Prada. So my man is out here doing it, getting this thing going. In 2025, of course, he was the rookie driver in F1, the movie, and his next movie is coming out. Will be Children of Blood and Bone, coming out in 2027. Great actress, and that's Damson Idris. You got anything you want to say about him?
Yeah, he's also on and off again with Lori Harvey, who is the daughter of Steve Harvey. They just broke up in April, so they go through these phases where they're breaking up and going back together, and breaking up, getting back together. I think they're going to get married, because once you do that so many times with each other, that's going to magically probably happen.
But she's got a pattern of breaking up and getting back together with multiple guys. No, not to put it out there in a negative way, but I'm just saying, maybe not.
He was also, I guess you could say, he was honored for the fact that he got to shake Queen Elizabeth's hand before she passed away. So that's probably, being an English person, that's probably one of their, no matter who it is,
a big honor, right? Exactly.
It's a big honor. So that was another thing that was on his resume too. I guess if you could say, I shook the Queen's hand, whatever. But yeah, so that was a couple things about James. Yeah, he's an up and coming actor. Look for him. Yes, I gotta look at the Snowfall series. I do.
Absolutely. And I will say thank you all for joining us. Our next week we come back and watch us with us. Excuse me, I don't have any words right now. Come back and join us. If you're out there watching, if you enjoyed the show, please watch us on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Our next movies are going to be Major League and 8 Man Out. This is baseball season, and so we want to pay homage to baseball, and with 2 great movies. I'm not going to give you my ranking on it, but I will say that both movies are great. And the bio would be of James Gammon of Major League. So again, if you're out there, thank you for watching our show. We appreciate you. We've been going since, when did we start, man? In February, March. I think it was March, right?
March, yeah.
We started in March, and we're going strong right now. And again, just continue to hang in with us, and we will try to bring you great content. And if you got any questions, please, or movie you want to review, you can either put in the comments during the show, or you can email us, which nobody seems to like to email anymore, bwflix2026@gmail.com. Again, just if you got a movie that you want us to review, leave it in the comments, because it seems like nobody's emailing. Just leave it in the comments, and we'll try to get that done for you. But again, the next movie will be Major League and 8 Men Out, and the bio will be James Gammon. And we will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and see you next week. Have a great night.
Peace.